All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to JamBet's Super Bowl edition. I am Tike, joined as always by the fantastic Momma Mia. So we've got a great matchup coming up. We've got the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles. We're seeing the spread hover from 1 to 1.5. The total's also hovering from 48.5 to 49. Um, but before we dive into all that, we wanted to give a quick and deserving shout out to Virginia McCaskey, majority owner of the Bears. Unfortunately, passed Thursday morning. She was 102. She lived you know, well beat the life expectancy. She'll definitely be missed. Her father, George Hallis, legendary coach of the Bears. Roots go deep there.
He
So
started the NFL.
yeah, the started the NFL. One of the few female majority owners in the NFL as well. So curious to see what's going to happen there. But let's move on to the NFL and what we've got in store. So we're going to be doing more of our typical Super Bowl leans, things that we like in the game, things we're going to be watching out for. But also on top of that, we're going to have a little bit of fun here with the podcast today. You know, why not? You have a podcast. Let's do some things that are a little bit out of the norm. So we're going to be taking some time today and randomly calling some Philadelphia establishments and getting their take on the game and also some Philadelphia characteristics. We'll see what kind of responses we get back, but I'm looking forward to that. We've got some great questions laid out for them. So, Mamma Mia, would you like to kick us off? Let's start with players that you're looking at on the Eagles.
All right. Thank you, Tyke. Yeah, this is the game, and this is going to be a great game. My overperformers for Philadelphia are I'm going with Barkley. They say his over-under is 110 yards. They've rested this young man. He's phenomenal. He's really hard to hold to 110 yards rushing. So I really believe that he is going to go off, and I might even say he could be the MVP of this game. I really think that he could. If they can't stop him, it's going to be interesting to watch. He is the one they have to stop. I also like the Jalen Carter on the defensive line there. One that could be very special in this game. They need to hold the rushing the rushing yards down, and I'm looking forward to seeing that defense do that. The Eagles' defense in the regular season was ranked 10th for rushing and first for defensive passing. So that doesn't bode well for Mr. Patrick Mahomes. But we'll talk about that guy later. My underperformer for the Eagles is Kenneth Gainwell. He hasn't had a lot of participation and clearly not a lot of passing yards. He has, for the season, the regular season, he had 75 rushes for 290 yards, 1 touchdown. I think they're just going to feed my friend Saquon. I just see that being, they're just going to say, try and stop him. Just try and stop them. The offensive line of the Eagles is good, and I think that's where this game is going to be won in the trenches, especially when, both defenses are really good. So, yeah, I just think that the defense of the Eagles is really primed. I also think being an underdog is serving them very well. And they lost last time they played, right? They lost by
3.
By 3 points, like a last-minute field goal.
Yeah,
so
last second field goal.
They are hungry. They are very hungry. I would say that the coaching of the Kansas City Chiefs could make the difference in this game, but I don't know. The players played, right? So I am looking for the Eagles to play this one very well. What do you have for the Eagles, Tyke?
So for the Eagles, I'm going to be watching two players, one on the offense and one on the defense. I'm going to be watching Jalen Hurts. More specifically, I'm going to be watching the quarterback sneak, the brotherly shove, tush push. I think the Eagles are going to probably make that an emphasis that they run that better than any other team in the league. We just watched the Chiefs stop the Bills quarterback sneak over and over and over in the conference game. I won't get into all the problems that the Bills had with their quarterback sneak. But I think if the Chiefs showing the lead that they can stop the quarterback sneak, I think the Eagles are going to show, no, you can't stop ours. I think I think Hurts is going to convert some fourth downs. I think if the ball gets within the 3 yard line, Hurts is scoring a touchdown. Hurts scored 3 rushing touchdowns in their previous Super Bowl. And I think if they just get into those goal line situations, they're going to do that again. I see the brotherly shove coming frequently and often. And, the Eagles have shown that no matter what Saquon's doing, they're still going to run that brotherly shove. They didn't even give Saquon a touchdown on the game where he broke 2,000 rushing yards at the 1 yard line. They did a QB sneak with their backup quarterback rather than turn around and hand it to Barkley. So for that reason, I'll be taking Hurts. I also think Hurts has good upside on the passing as well. A.J. Brown in his second Super Bowl as well, a little bit of a sour there. Last time they played, Chiefs cornerback, I think it was Ward. He's no longer with the team. So we'll see how the Chiefs are planning to stop A.J. Brown here as well. I know they have a very good defense, a lot of different looks they can throw out there, but I'm picking Hurts as my overperformer. I think he has a high ceiling for this type of game. Then the other player I'm going to pick, I'm going to be picking Cooper DeJean. He's quietly a very underrated secondary player. He's racking up a lot of tackles. He's not allowing a ton of receptions as well. I don't think he's going to be guarding Xavier Worthy. I don't think he has the speed to keep up with Worthy. So I think he'll be more guarding Hopkins or Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Brown probably has a step on him there as well. But I could see him getting a good amount of tackles, tackling Kelsey, being involved in the run game. So I'm taking Cooper DeJean to have a good game there as well on the defensive side. He is the Eagles' cornerback. So we'll move over to the Chiefs side now. Mamma Mia, who are you looking at on the Chiefs?
Well, I'm going to pick another defensive player here. I think that Chris Jones is going to try and bottle up your Jalen Hurts a little bit. And the run defense has got to play well for Spag's defense to be successful. It's going to be tough, but I think that Chris Jones will get in the backfield a little bit. So I like him. And I also think Xavier Worthy is going to have a big day because my underperformer is Travis Kelce. I think they're going to try and take him out of the game totally. He's only had 3 touchdowns in the regular season, and he gets a lot of chances, a lot of passes, and he gets a lot of yards, but he's not scoring. So that makes me a little thinking this might be his last season. I think he might just, if they don't, and rock off in the sunset with, who's it? Taylor Swift? Yeah. So there's the fairy tale. But I think Travis is going to have a tough day. I think they're going to really key on him and take Mahomes' biggest weapon away from him. I think that's their plan. So how about you, Tike? What do you think Kansas City's players are going to be?
So I've got one player, and I agree with you. I'm taking Xavier Worthy to overperform. Andy Reid has been dialing up quite a bit of designed plays for Xavier Worthy. There's been a good amount of screens, pick plays. Even rush attempts, which is what I'm really going to be watching for here in this game. Um, I think Xavier Worthy is going to be the fastest guy on the field. He's showing that he's earned Mahomes' trust. I mean, I think he's been, except for the last game, he's been the leading yards receiver for the Chiefs for multiple games, especially from wide receiver. Now, they've had a banged-up wide receivers core this season, but that's in Xavier Worthy's favor. He's gotten more reps. He's gotten more running or wide receiver one reps, and he's shown it. He's been a force to reckon with. I do have one play particularly that I think is going to be interesting that I'm going to be watching for. I hope the Chiefs run it. I'm going to show it here real quick as well. So this is a jet sweep to Xavier Worthy. Now this is all the way back from I think, week 1 against the Ravens. So they hike it. They do a fake to Isaiah Pacheco. They're handing it around over to Isaiah Likely right now. So since this is a run play, and this is what I really love about this play, since it's a run play, the Kansas City offensive line does not have a legal man downfield. It's not a pass play, so they can go more than 1 yard downfield at this point, which is what you're already seeing happen on the screen here. They've got 3 offensive linemen out running. They've got Rashid Rice getting ready to set a block, and they have Noah Gray.
We're not seeing it, honey.
Oh, shoot. Well, I'm sharing my screen so everyone's seeing what I'm seeing. Sorry, you're just not seeing it.
Okay.
So they've handed off to Xavier Worthy here. And look at this just line of offensive linemen here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 7 Chiefs out in front of Xavier Worthy here. And they've got all these defensive linemen trying to chase the fastest man in the NFL. And they're already setting all these great blocks up here. And what do you think happens here? They just bulldoze everyone. They're already 10 yards downfield, and there's still 3 blockers in front of Worthy and 1 person to block here. And Xavier Worthy takes it in for a touchdown. I will be hoping that the Chiefs run that play because I love that play. I think it's such a creative idea. It's basically like a screen pass. But since Xavier Worthy's so fast, you don't have to throw the pass. So you can get the lineman down the field while handing the ball off. I think it's just such a creative idea that you can really only do when you have the fastest players on your team. So I'm hoping we'll see that play. And then the other player I'm going to be taking is also Kansas City. This is more of a sleeper. But I'm going to be taking Juju Smith-Schuster. Juju's been on the Chiefs for a couple years now, a little bit on and off, but he was on the Chiefs for their past Super Bowl again. And the game where they played the Eagles, Juju had a very good game. It was a very quiet game. I think he had 5 catches. I think he was the leading receiver on the Chiefs in that game. And then this past game in the conference championship, Juju showed up again. I think he had 40-something yards. I just see him being a sleeper. He's got a very low bar. He's only expected on the books 16 receiving yards. I think he can beat that. I just see him being a sleeper. He's got Mahomes' trust here as well. And he's getting the ball in these playoff-type games, which he hasn't all season. All right. So that's what I've got for the Kansas City and Philadelphia players to watch out for. So, Mama, who are you picking to win this game? It's a 1 to 1.5 point spread. The total's about 48 to 49. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, this is a tough one. Like we said, Kansas City won on a late field goal in the last Super Bowl, 38 to 35. It was Super Bowl 57. Kansas City has the all-time lead in the records between these two teams. Kansas has won 6 and lost 5. Even though these guys don't play each other a lot, it's tight. So I'm going to go with Philadelphia. I'm going to take Philadelphia I think they have a lot to prove. I'm going to go 31-30. I think Hurts, your Hurts has a good day, and if Barkley has a good day, that means Kansas City defense did not. So, but I think it's going to go right down to probably the last few minutes again, like it did last time. How about you? What are you picking? What are you thinking?
So I'm really torn on this. I am kind of over the Chiefs at this point. It's just been them there every year. Patrick Mahomes has been to 4 Super Bowls already. He's won 3 of them. This will be his 4th and his 3rd in a row if he wins. So I really want to pick Philadelphia just because I'm just sick of the Chiefs. It's just the same thing over year and year again, which props to them.
Yeah.
I will be picking the Chiefs to win for a couple reasons. The spread is so low. It's going to be such a close game. The Chiefs have just all year won these close games. I think they've won like 14 games by less than 1 score or something insane like that. And I think if the Chiefs win, there's a chance that Andy Reid and Travis Kelce retire, which may put an end to this Chiefs madness for at least a little bit. Now, I know Andy Reid already came out on Kansas City's local radio station and said, no matter what, I'm not retiring. I don't buy a single word that these coaches tell us during the season, let alone right before the Super Bowl. Andy Reid could tell me the sky's blue. I'm going to question that. You just can't trust anything that they say right now. I think if they win, I think there's a good possibility Andy Reid retires, and I think that will be a big blow to the Kansas City organization. But I will be taking Kansas City to win this one as well. I'm going to take Kansas City to win by 3. Final score, Kansas City 27, Eagles 24. I also thought it was a little bit interesting from maybe a betting standpoint, but if you were going to pick the Chiefs to win the game, just flat out money line, they're going to win, no spread, anything. They're minus, I don't remember what it was. It was like 120 or 125. But you could take Patrick Mahomes to be the Super Bowl MVP at plus 120. Chiefs have won 3 Super Bowls. Patrick Mahomes has been the MVP of all 3. I think if you're going to pick the Chiefs to win, I think you get better value for your buck just picking Patrick Mahomes to be the Super Bowl MVP. All right, so that's what we have for our game picks and our players. I am so excited for this game. And now we'll get into some of the fun things here. So we'll be giving some random establishment, well, not random. We've done some vetting. Haven't called any of them. No one knows we're about to call. So we'll give them a call. We'll see what kind of responses we get here.